Hey guys, thanks for tuning in this week to Sketches Inc. TV. We got a really fun one for you today. We're doing a full interior of a Mazda 3 Speed.
Mazda Speed 3.
To get technical. Yeah,
Ironhead Knucklehead.
Same no, that is definitely not the same thing. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in this week. We're doing a full interior of a Mazda Speed 3. So this week's episode is going to be a little bit shorter than the previous ones that we've done. We haven't really done a really good in-depth view of carbon fiber hydrographics, so we thought we'd get into it and show you guys how it's done. So Sebastian pretty much brought us his entire interior of his Mazda Speed 3, which is pretty ironic because the following week we actually got a full interior for a Audi R8, which we did in the same carbon fiber. So after we gave the parts a quick scuff, we moved them into the booth for some primer. So with this project, we use a little bit different primer this time. What we use is actually called a high build primer. There's a lot more volume to it, so because all the parts are actually textured, we want to get rid of all that texture. The high build primer actually fills all those gaps and makes it smooth, so we don't have to sand it. After letting the parts cure for about an hour, we sprayed the black base coat to get it ready for dip. All right, so now that the parts don't have that ugly pitted texture that we're all used to seeing, there's a fresh coat of paint on it, everything's ready for dip. All right, so we've been getting a lot of questions about our tank setup. Honestly, there's not that much special about it. It's a big tub filled with water. It's got some jets to clean out all the excess film. Now that all these parts are ready, let's get to dipping. So to start things off, I'm going to wipe everything down with a tack cloth and to get rid of any dust or lint that's on the parts. Next, I'll lay out the film and cut off what I need from the roll. After that, I'm going to blow off all the air bubbles that are on top of the water. We don't want those to get underneath the film. Next, we lay the film down in the water. Once the film's on top of the water, it's got to sit for 60 seconds so that I can hydrate. After that, I spray the activator to dissolve the film, and what you're left with is the ink. So right before we put the parts in the tank, we want to wipe them down once more with the tack cloth to make sure there's no dust or lint on the parts. Because water takes the shape of its container, as you're dipping the part into the water, the film is actually enveloping the whole part, and then that's what actually transfers the ink onto the part. After the parts come out of the water, I walk them over to the rinsing station to rinse off the excess film. Once all the parts are nice and clean, we dry them off and it's time for the shiny stuff. Now that the clear coat's finished curing, I'm bringing them into the finishing room to polish them off. All right, so now that all the parts are done, they're ready to go back in the car. Thanks for tuning in to this week for Sketches Inc. TV. We've got some more episodes coming up, so tune in next week.